In today's training, we're going to be focusing on the long range, so the extra super long range on this drill. This is a great drill to really open up the body and get more extension out of the body and increase that range of motion, both in the legs, in the footwork, and then also in your strikes. So you're getting that full potential of the arc in your strikes. And when it comes to Kali and ranges, here at Kali Center, we identify pretty much two combat or two fighting ranges. We have long range and we have short range. So we do not identify middle range as a fighting range. Middle range is the range that we want to go through, whether we're going from long to short or short back out to long. And we don't want to get stuck at that middle range because you're not quite far enough where you can hit the opponent's hand and not get your body hit in the exchange or in a return or a repost type of thing. But you're also not close enough where you can really secure your opponent's weapon and get uninterrupted striking combinations in on your opponent. So that middle range is kind of that little kind of red zone where you get that exchange of what we call mutual destruction. And obviously we don't want that when we're training, fighting with weaponry or blades, bolos, anything like that. We want to reduce that risk or eliminate that position altogether as much as we possibly can. And so today's training, we're going to be focusing on the long range, or what's called the long range, because we have these kind of micro ranges or micro distances within each range. So we have like at corto range, at short range, right, we can strike with all the different areas of the weapon, but then we can also get closer to extreme close range where we can start locking up and tripping and throwing and going into more of the grappling aspects at short range. And we have the same thing at long range as well. We have the long range where we have these maximum amount of options to strike the hand, and then we have a more kind of minimum long range or extra long range where we have a minimum amount of options where we can hit that hand. Now, why would we be utilizing this extra long range? And really mostly it's because, one, we're taking advantage of us being ahead of time, and we don't want to take the risk necessarily of not applying the pressure here and there right now and then losing that time as we're trying to make the adjustment. Or more commonly, we would be using a strike in this extreme long range because we need to keep this opponent at bay because another opponent is becoming priority. So it starts moving us into the realm of multiple opponents and having to re-navigate which opponent is becoming more of a priority that we need to engage. So that's why we would be really using this extreme long range. If you don't need to, if you can close that distance, then close that distance. That's going to be a better option. But we need the options to be able to deal with not only the ranges, but the micro ranges as well. So from here, we have two striking patterns that we're going to be working. They're very simple. So let's go ahead and grab our stick, grab our training bolo, whichever you're going to be training with, and let's go through these two patterns really quickly here. They're very simple. So from here, we're going to start off pattern number one. We're striking our angle 1, our angle 2, our angle 3, and our angle 2. That's pattern number one. Very simple. So 1, 2, 3, 2. One more time. Down the 1, down the 2, up the 3, down the 2. Right there. The second pattern is even more easier. We're going to start off on our 2 position. We're striking down the 2, up the 3, down the 2, up the 3. It's that simple. So once again, pattern 2, down the 2, up the 3, down the 2, up the 3. One more time. 2, 3, 2, and 3. Now, what's really important is that the strikes are in the proper placement, that they are going through the bridge. Okay, even your angle 3, everything's going through the bridge, and they are on the diagonals. Okay, they're on that 45 degrees. They're not starting to cut vertical. I'd rather you go too far horizontal than too far vertical, okay, because we are going to be in extended positions. All right, so from here, let's take a look at how do we add in the footwork. We're going to be using our ranging footwork. So our 6 ways to get off of the center line. And then I'm also going to give you the drill with some of the center line techniques as well, because you can use extreme largo on 0 degrees or on the center line. So from here, we're going to step left 45 first. And when we step our left 45, we want a long step. Now, what's too long? If you cannot bend your rear leg, then it's too long. So if I took this massive step here where I have a hard time bending this rear leg, it's too far. You can't recover from that position fast enough, athletic enough. So make sure that you are stepping to a point that you can bend this rear leg, because if you needed to use this leg as a spring to get yourself back out, you're gonna need that. So don't go too wide, right? But you don't wanna go too narrow here because you're at extreme long range and you're not gonna get the shot, okay? So as we step out, everything to the left, we're doing striking pattern number 1. Everything to the right, we do striking pattern number 2. So we step out left 45 and we go into the striking pattern. Now watch my body. I'm going to wave my body in to maximize the range of the weapon. I'm not extending my arm and breaking my wrist. I'm going to use my body to get that maximum extension through the footwork. So I strike my 1, I strike my 2, I strike my 3, and I strike my 2. Now as I return back to center, I'm going to strike my number 1, and that sets us up to go to the right. Same thing, going to extend this step all the way out to the right 45 degrees, striking my 2, my 3, my 2, and my 3. As I return, I strike my 2. Stepping out 90 degrees to the left, boom. Notice how I'm turning everything. So when we do this, we don't want to step out and have these toes facing forward. We want to turn the hip, open the hip flexor, and then step straight 90 degrees. Boom, right there. So basically you're in a bow stance. And we're striking our 1, our 2, our 3, and our 2. Returning with the 1. Stepping out to the right. I'm going to hit Bob here, so just never mind him. I'm striking the 2, the 3, the 2, and the 3. Return. Now on these reverse angles, there's going to be a little bit different mechanic because we have 2 different options. So we're going to train both options within one drill. I'm going to step. As I step, I'm going to come into a back stance. I'm going to strike my 1. That's option 1. We might use a back stance here. Then, because we have the control of time, I'm going to come forward on the rest of the strikes. 2, 3, and 2. Okay? So what that signifies is I might have to step out and strike, or if I have that timing domination, I can also step back and keep my pressure moving forward as well. So I can step back, and if I need to, I can return this into a different direction. So that's what we have moving backwards. Back stance on the 1, and then forward on the 2, 3, 2, bring it back. Same thing going back to the right. Back stance on the 2, and then forward, boom, boom. Notice how I still have that wave in. I'm not upright like this, all right? I'm extending this strike using my footwork and the waving of my body. When you do this wave, make sure you do not break your spine over and round out your spine. Keep it straight. You're maintaining the aerodynamics and the proper skeletal structure of the body right here, okay? And then return that. And then you're ready to start that drill over if you just want to isolate those ranging angles, or we can start implementing the center line as well. But let's go ahead and work our ranging angles one more time, and then I'll go ahead and work that center line. So from here, let's go through the drill. We have 1, going to the right 45, 2, going into the 90 degrees to the left, that's number 3. 90 degrees to the right, number 4. reverse, number 5. And reverse to the right, number 6. Right there. Now, on the center line, you can train it both ways. You can either go forward with pattern 1, backwards with pattern 2, or you can flip it and go forward with pattern 2 and backwards with pattern 1. So from here, we're going to step forward, pattern number 1, step back. Now when we step back though, we're going to use a cross step. Right foot's going to step back and going into pattern number 2. Or you can switch it. I can step forward with pattern number 2. Okay? And then from here I can cross step it back on pattern number 1. So because it's center line, you can play either one. And that would really depend on where you are in the flow of weaponry, in the flow of the fight. All right, let's go ahead and go through this together. I'll turn around and let's go ahead and get 2 reps, 2 full cycles of this in together, both on the ranging and also on the center line. All right, nice and slow. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. All right, again, starting off left 45, number 1. And switching to number 2, right 45. Number 3, left 90. Number 4, right 90. Number 5, reverse to the left. Reverse and then forward stance. Reverse to the right on number 6. Right, I'm going to switch it. I'm going to go with pattern number 2 this time, going forward on the center. Okay, and pattern number 1 on moving it back on the center. All right, work this one out. This is going to be great for really enhancing that extension of your strikes, the extension of your body, increasing that full range of motion. So it's got a lot of just good physical conditioning benefits to it. It's going to help to make sure that your diagonal strikes are precisely diagonal. As you can see, if they're not, you might end up hitting your foot or your shin. So obviously make sure that you're doing this with either a stick or a training bolo. Don't start this drill off with a live bolo. Don't start any drill off with a live blade. Please don't do that. All right, and this is going to help to really dial in your strikes and really understand that coordination from the weapon in relation to how it maneuvers around your body. So it's actually a really important drill. Plus you're getting that little kind of insight on some of these different ranges or distances within each of these ranges. So hopefully you find this video not only a good physical exercise for your collie development, but also informative as well. And you can start using some of this information and apply it into the rest of your training and see how it works for you. Head on over to colliecenter.com if you want to take your collie training to a whole nother level. Check out our further training programs, our courses, our DVD downloads. We have a lot of great training material for you out there to bring you up beginner, intermediate to more advanced, higher level skills. Also check out becoming a sponsor to our channel right here on YouTube and checking out our members area. Just click the join button right below this video and you can check out all the different perks that you get as a sponsor to the channel, and then you get access to all of our exclusive training videos that we already have here on YouTube, but only available to our members. And I'm constantly adding more videos over there. Some of them are beginner, some of them are more intermediate, and some of them are advanced. And then we also have some other really cool featured videos that are exclusive in our members area as well. All right guys, get on out there, go train this drill, work it out, and leave me a comment below, and I'll see you guys back here next time.